Hi gang, welcome back to the Ornery Latina ever. Today I am trying to get my ballot filled out. I want to say that I feel like the state of Florida is discriminating against my Latino ass because I don't speak any Spanish and they have everything printed in Spanish and I have dyslexia. So when I go to read it, it looks like Spanglish, okay? Because you have it in English and then Spanish, and it just messes up with my eyes. So I was going to suggest that in the near future, since I'm a Republican and we are supposed to do what our husbands tell us, that for people with disabilities, you can kind of go ahead and give us like a sample ballot on how a typical Republican would vote, so that we vote the right way. Because I like don't understand some of these things, especially like you know, when there's Spanish underneath it, because like I said, I see both, and that's all. So anyway, I'm supposed to fill this out. I want to talk about congratulations to our judge who went through this most horrible, horrific process. I can't say his last name very well. Kavanaugh. I should be able to say it, but anyway, I just think, like, you know, the whole process was just absolutely horrid. I've seen similar things happen to similar great guys. Like, for example, we had a guy here, Judge Kavanaugh, and I hugged him. You know, it's a Hispanic thing to do. And maybe I groped him, and nothing like happened or anything. Like I initiated it, and he hugged me back, which was really sweet. You know, I didn't like he didn't say, "Oh, Dee, you groped me." It was like a half hug, you know, but it wasn't like a full hug. But anyway, I never had and you know, like if somebody was gonna hit on me or whatever, like I would feel that, but I didn't feel that from him. Like I'm offended because like you didn't grope me like I should have been groped, Jack. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I really don't think that some of the stuff that they're doing is okay. You have a lot of good people out there that get pushed out of office on a hearsay, he said, she said kind of thing. Prove your grope. I mean, I want to see some grope and fingerprints. I want to see some form of fact that like you really were groped. And unless you can prove it, you know, I mean, take a picture of the grope. You know, pictures are good in court. So a witness, you know, like a groping witness, that would be good. But if not, you're going to look really ridiculous. That's all. But with that said, speaking about ridiculous, I'm sitting on my perch, my high perch. I am a second story person, and I like to look down on all my subjects that people walking by. We have this neighbor who's single, has been single forever. She never brings any guys home, but she's always going away for these weekends, you know. And I see her like dragging her luggage, and we'll notice that she walks funny. And so I said, "What do you mean she walks funny?" You know, like probably because she's getting banged all weekend long, and then she's walking funny. And he said, "No, she's walking like she's carrying a toolbox." I said, "Yeah, that toolbox is her vagina." So I said, we don't know her name, but we're going to call her Toolbox. Anyway, and this is what we do to pass the time, make fun of our neighbors. Don't be a hoe. You know, pick one of these guys someday and get hitched. So anyway, my problem is I pick too often and don't follow through. Anyway, I'm kidding, Bill. With that said, our next topic is the redundancy of the liberal media. I watch some of the stuff, you know, and I really like Fox. Laura Ingraham is great. I love Judge Janine, and also I love Mr. Trump, who is going to be in our state today speaking, but I'm not going to be up there because I wasn't invited. Like, what's wrong with you, Mr. Trump? You're coming to town and we're not having drinks? Like, really? Anyway, yeah, he's talking to the police officers, and I think that's really nice of him to come here. And I think he's bringing his lovely wife. And then what's the other guy? The guy that's the lying liberal. What's his name? the guy that like not the lying liberal, the guy that like thought he was going to lose his job, but like he's not, and then the guy that did the probe. Anyway, that guy. There's so many of them. I lose track of their names. I think he's Jewish, but I don't know his last name. And Bill is like, God, like, what are you talking about? He's bringing this guy with him that, like, you know, I guess they're supposed to be getting along now, but they're flying in the same plane together. Like, it was just on the news. Didn't you hear it? So anyway, well, that guy, and they're going to be here. And then tomorrow, Mr. DeSantis is having like this thing for veterans, and I like get this like little like thing in my box, you know. And I like veterans and everything, and I like free hamburgers, you know, but the food can't possibly be as bad as like the food that we had at the Bel Air Club. Let me tell you, I got to talk about that, because you know, when you're paying $50 to go have lunch, like something out of that lunch, you have to come away with something positive. Like either the food has to be decent, the company should be decent, like something should be decent about the whole event, right? So anyway, we go to this event, and we pay our money to support the Republican group. And the food is just god-awful. Like, I feel like I've gained like 5 to 10 pounds every time I go. It's only like 1 or 2 pounds, but anyway, I can't shit for 3 days afterwards. It's really horrible. And I know why those old biddies are all miserable and sourpuss face and everything, because they eat like this all the time, you know, so they're constantly constipated. And then I got to go there and hear about all their ailments, and they're all old, and like some of them have like frozen like facelifts and stuff like that surprise look, but they're not really surprised. It's just how they look. And so anyway, they're always so rude. Like, you can't even talk without somebody going shh, shh, you know. And like, if you don't understand the question, you know, forget you, it's shh, like that. But they can say whatever they want. Anyway, I'm there, and the food is lousy. I was skipped over, which is probably no big deal, like, you know, because the food is lousy. They must know that I'm not going to eat it anyway. But, you know, if you pay $50, you might as well just go through the motions or something, right? So anyway, I finally came to the realization. Like, I left there, and I'm screaming in my car at Will, and Will's like, "What's the matter?" And like, he's like ready to jump out of the car, you know, and I'm like, you know, like every time I go there, I just like come out of there like the Tasmanian devil. And, you know, I'm just like, I'd rather walk through like hot coals, you know, like just on the like hot coals, you know, like, you know, when those barefoot people in the tribal, then go to another luncheon with those old biddies again. And I always say, you know, and I did announce at the table, this is my last luncheon. I think I did do that every time I go there. This is the last time I come here. I'm never coming here again. Anyway, but no, this is my last time. Like, nothing is going to get me to go back there. Not even if you say, Dave, we really want to hear your lovely speeches. You know, we want to hear you talk. No, you had your chance. You blew it. But anyway, not that I'm going to get invited back there. I don't want to be invited back there. But there was, to really make matters worse, really the icing on the fucking cake was that Chris Ingram. I had an interview with that guy, and he's sitting there at lunch. Okay, so you have a bad situation, and you're eating this constipating food with these constipating old ladies, and then you have like Mr. Constipation himself, the king of shit. Anyway, sitting at the table. Anyway, he's supposed to be like I don't know what he's supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be a Republican, right? And I think that's what he's supposed to be. But he really isn't, because like when you hear him talk and stuff like that, he just trashes all the Republicans. He doesn't say anything nice about anybody. Anyway, he called me a bigot. You know what? I'm not a bigot. I know I'm not a bigot. But you know, like, he's a fucking idiot. Like, that's what he is. And like, you know, he's an imbecile. So anyway, he's on, like, everybody knows like what little like station he's on or whatever. Like, so I Google the guy, Chris Ingram. He's not like related to Laura Ingram or anything, but I Google him, and I find out that he worked for CNN. You know, chicken, commie, whatever, chicken shit news. Anyway, commie, I don't know. What does CNN stand for? I can't even remember. But anyway, it's not good. It's no bueno. But anyway, so this month is Hispanic Heritage Month. So like what saved the day is going to a Hispanic event that night and doing the like salsa dance, the cha-cha-cha. And Will did it with me, and we got up in front of everybody, and I had a few glasses of wine and everything else, and so the day ended better. You know, it ended well. It started out shitty, and it got better. So I figured that from here on out, I'm gonna be racist. Unless you're Hispanic, I don't want anything to fucking do with you. I'm kidding. No, I'm with El Gringo over here behind the camera, so I'm not a racist. But anyway, you know, unless you're Mr. Trump or Bill, just get the fuck away from me. Latinos only. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you guys. I love you all. I love every race, except if you're the Bel Air woman. I don't like you. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day, and yay, Judge.